Okay, hey guys, it's your boy Dark Raku here for what's it called? Okay, I'm here with another new what if. Problem is why I couldn't record any of the others is because I've been bothered the whole damn day. So the whole day I was in the store. Mostly I was at Walmart. Then I went somewhere else, and then after that I was cleaning my car. Then after that I went to the gas station because first first choice was to go somewhere to get someone, but they get caught because they're dumbass. But whatever. But not the point. Pretty much. Let me go into this what if and whatever. So I couldn't really record any of the other what ifs, and I gotta record this one really fast and upload it. But yeah. But this one is basically called "What if Issei was tossed away after the battle?" Mostly after the battle of Riser. But yeah, mostly the whole free Rias and other things. Yeah. So we kind of begin mostly in there. After, mostly the battle of, Riser and how he freed Rias and other things. But yeah, Rias in this one didn't really kiss Issei. No, instead, we go into the next day after that whole kind of thing, celebrating. We go into Issei kind of meeting up in the ORC, whatever the hell it's called, the Research Occult Club or whatever, I don't care. But of course, we meet up with there. Of course, Issei is right now grinning with a big smile, being happy that, the president's okay. But of course, the president decided to scold him in this day. Mostly, he had a kind of terrible feeling to say, but for some reason, it was terrible instead of being happy, but whatever. He then didn't really care. But pretty much on this day, he was scolded by Rigas from the fact that, he did a lot of shouting and wasn't really proper manners and blah blah blah. Okay, sorry guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was in the beginning. So Rios decided to scold Issei about the whole mostly she kind of scolded him about how he screamed in the hallways and other things, and of course that he should have been a little bit more quieter and other stuff. And also that the fact that Rios in this one doesn't really like Issei that much because of her pervertness. But yeah, truly, she didn't really like Issei or Riser, but decides to use Issei for out of Riser's marriage. But yeah, of course, sorry if I'm breathing a little too hard. I just ran over here. But yeah, I left my phone over here at the house and I had to do something else. But yeah, not the point. But of course, Issei kind of was just devastated the fact that Rios is telling him to stop being a pervert and other stuff, and of course, pretty much he's not really needed in the ORC because he can't get really many contracts or any of that stuff. So of course, anytime they need Issei in his help, they will call him. But pretty much he's not allowed to go to the ORC no more. And of course, this and that. Of course, they don't need him for contracts because he can barely get any contracts. And yeah, so of course, after that kind of news, he was kicked out. He tried to ask Akano, Konako, or even what's it called, Kiba, or even Asi, but of course none of them could really help him. And of course they just told him that he can't really come in. So yeah, if he comes in, then they're pretty much just gonna kick him out. But yeah, if he come in twice, and if he comes in again after them kicking him out, they were basically just suspend him or something. Pretty much they don't want him to be in the ORC anymore. But yeah, he's still a part of the Parage. He's just not really needed. Because he was only needed for the power boost and helping against, Rise's Parage. Which Issei was devastating. So of course, Issei was tossed away like some kind of tool that they don't need until later on. Of course, we go into Issei kind of going mostly around the school. He goes on like a normal regular teenager, but mostly the Kendo class kind of specifically for some reason targets him because after the news of him getting kicked out from the ORC, people thought that Issei did something to Rias, so that's why he was kicked out. So of course mostly the Kendo class attacked him, even though that was just a mostly suspicion. It wasn't actually an approved, approved, mostly proven right that he did something. Pretty much they just kicked him out of no reason. So of course people just speculated because he was one of the trio perverts. But yeah, and of course his perverted friends kind of left him behind and didn't really talk to him or anything, just because they didn't want to get the wrath of the Kendo class. But yeah, So of course that went on for a couple of days until Issei disappeared. So yeah, we then go into 4 months later. But yeah, we kind of go into mostly the ORC confused and where Issei went. Of course, well, they can't really use their, well, Rias couldn't really find where Issei went with the kind of signature magic that he has on his palm, mostly of the crest of the Gremory. And of course, trying to check for his pawns, yeah, they weren't even there. So of course, people just concluded that he dead, that he died. Of course, the Kindle class was kind of happy, but yeah, mostly everyone was happy, except for Rias. Rias kind of felt a little bit bad, just a little bit, not much, because, well, she just needed Issei for what's it called, his Red Dragon Emperor power. That's all. But this is where, well, we go into someone, we go into someone kind of being really arrogant and cocky and decides to mess with the blondish hair girl. This is where, well, she had dullish blue eyes and she looks like she was walking towards Kuo. Of course, she didn't really have the Kuo uniform, but this is where she was holding on to like a bear that was half black, half white. This is where the white side was kind of friendly, the black side was kind of mean and scary looking, but yeah. This is where, well, this guy was from Achikuo and he was one of the popular guys. This is where he tries to harass this girl and says, why don't you come with me, baby? I'll show you what a good time is. This is where, well, he was just trying to be arrogant and other stuff. He looked like a really arrogant person. This is where the girl kind of just scoffed at him and tried to walk away. But her arm was grabbed very tightly and this is where the guy says, a bitch like you shouldn't be walking away from a god like me. This is where, well, before he can even say something, his head was grabbed and smashed to the like wall of a building. His face is all just fucked up. This is where, well, the girl looks up and saw, well, a greenish hair boy. This greenish hair boy had glasses of kind of, well, mostly bluish shades and of course had a suit on. This person seems to be also like 6'5" like feet tall. This is where, well, he seems to have like this purplish, kind of dark grayish suit. Of course, well, he seems to have this, well, kind of darkish glow around his eye. But of course, yeah. This is where, well, he then looks at the girl, and this is where he says, Junko, are you, I should say, okay? This is where the girl, now known Junko, kind of just grins at him and says, of course I'm okay, my love. This is where, well, she smiles at him, of course, is where, well, she also has a seductive look. This is where, well, the person just known as, well, kind of for this girl is love. But this is where, well, she then says, besides, we're going to your school, right? Your old school. This is where, well, the person nodded. So, what do you want to do? You say, do you want to destroy it? I can't believe you actually asked and called the other family members. I thought this was only going to be a lone mission together. This is where, well, the older boy that's now known as Issei kind of grins at her and says, aw, you don't want the others to kind of be here? Oh, come on. Don't be too selfish, Junko. Don't be too selfish when we're alone together with each other. This is where, well, the boy caresses her cheek. This is where, well, she kind of pouts and kind of then grins at him. This is where, well, she says, fine, but don't think of any erotica thoughts when we're in the middle of killing people. This is where, well, Issei scoffs and says, we're not gonna kill them, we're just gonna beat the shit out of them. Maybe. Oh no, I just don't really care. Truly, in my desire and other stuff, is mostly just to kind of, well, erase any data from my past life. So that's why we're going there. We're not really going there to actually kill them. Junko's just sad in a little bit, but this is where she then grabs his arm, of course putting his arm like right between her bosoms, and of course where, well, she squishes his arm. This is where she says, oh come on, please my love, let me kill that red-haired bitch. This is where, well, she kind of just said very seductively. This is where, well, Issei kind of grins, and of course had this little bit pinkish tint to his face, and this is where he says, well, I would let you, it's just, maybe. This is where, well, gonna grin to a little bit towards her, and this is where, well, she then smiles and says, good, then let's go. This is where, well, they just keep walking. Of course, the guy He got up, and of course, this is where his face was hurt and all that things. When he turned around, of course, seeing with one eye, he tried to rush at Issei and Junko. He said, "You son of a..." This is where he gets his face literally punched so hard that his head, his brain, was crushed in an instant by a person with black short hair, some shades on, and of course, he had like black, like a mustache underneath, and he had something like food stuck to his like kind of facial hair a little bit, but yeah. This person was wearing a white jacket and of course glare at the young boy that was already dead. Clearly one punch and knocked this man the fuck out of life. Put his ass 6 feet underneath the ground, but yeah. But of course this is where the guy's dead. This is where, the older man says, "Don't you dare touch my leader." This is where, or his queen. This is where, Issei and Junko just grins and says, "Virgo, so nice to see you again. So where's the others?" Virgo says, "The others are right now kind of coming, but for right now, I'll be your bodyguard." What was it called? Issei-san and Junko-san. This is where, they both nodded, and of course, they're walking to the school. This is where, when they get to the school, Issei straight up looks like some kind of mafia boss, just straight up. This is where his dark greenish hair and his just shades straight up look like a fucking mafia boss, and also with the freaking suit that he has. But yeah, this is where next to him is Junko, who's kind of wearing a kind of school uniform, but really isn't cool. It's a little bit kind of more erotic, and of course lewd uniform that she has. But of course, she has a stuffed bear, and of course has Issei's arm between her bosoms. This is where, next to Issei is none other than Virgo. And Virgo just straight up looks like a fucking menace. Anyone that dares to attack Issei, they're getting knocked the fuck out to the fucking heavens. But yeah. This is where, we go into mostly them kind of walking into school. This is where, people are whispering and this is where some of the guys kind of say, "Who's that girl? Damn, that guy's a lucky son." But this is where, Issei looks at the people, and right now he just glances once, but then senses pressure of power, knocking out most of all the guys. This is where, Virgo says, "I could have really killed them all if you would have let me." Issei chuckles and says, "Of course not, Virgo. You don't waste your time on such pathetic weaklings. You waste your time on someone that I prefer you to fight. Weaklings like those aren't really that great in wasting your power on. They're just weaklings." This is where, Junko was kind of just grinning, but of course she had this malicious grin towards the girls, because most of the girls who are into like guys like these that were next to, mostly Junko, who was Issei, even though they don't know this is Issei because Issei's hair changed a lot, but it's still in the same hairstyle, it's just different color of hair. Of course his shades really not showing his eyes, but yeah. This is where, Junko is getting quite annoyed. This is where, she sent her own pressure knocking out some of the girls. This is where Issei said, "Aw, did he use some conqueror's hawking to knock them out?" He said very seductively in her ear. This is where she blushes and says, "Maybe." This is where, Issei grins and says, "Wow, so you're really protective of me, aren't you?" This is where, Junko says, "Of course I am, jerk." This is where, Issei just grins at her, but yeah. This is where they go into the school, and of course, mostly a bunch of guys appear trying to like fight Issei, and for the fact that he has such a beautiful girl, like literally loving him, and of course, just these guys are kind of like, half of these guys are like fake gangsters. Real gangsters that were there in the school, there's some that noticed Issei, noticed Virgo, and noticed Junko, and they said, "Fuck no." Because most of the gangsters in, what's it called, Kuo Town, and out of Kuo Town, mostly near the city or anything, bigger city and all that, mostly any gangster knows about the power of Dofi. Yes, or mostly, yeah, Dofi. The power of Dofi, a gangster member who is part of a family called, what's called, mostly the Don Quixote, what's it called, gangsters. Mostly a group of gangsters that are kind of similar to that of a mafia boss and some pirates. But yeah, mostly a bunch of gangsters knows about this like family that just kind of rise up, and of course has a lot of business. Thanks to the man who's named Dofi in the middle of all the family, mostly the leader. Of course, where he's the leader, but of course the leader has a wife, which people mostly consider her to be the queen of despair. But yeah, this is where next to Issei would be the what's it called, right hand man of the leader of the Dongxi, mostly Dongxi gangsters. But yeah, of course, people are kind of scared. Mostly the gangsters. These fake gangsters doesn't even know what true gangsters are afraid of. But of course, this is where these fake gangsters rushes at Issei, trying to attack him, even though they don't even know who Issei is. But Virgo appears right now, punching one guy to the side of the head. Right now, making his head collide with another one, and right now smashed him out the window. Literally, that punch was so hard that it did kind of crack this guy's skull, smashing to his other two buddies. And right now, there's a window right there, mostly the glass window and a railing. But yeah, but of course, this is where they were thrown out the window. This is where, the others were right now scared. Virgo cracked his neck, and this is where Virgo says, "You dare hurt Leader Sama, then you shall die for your insolence." This is where, Virgo rushes at, all of them. This is where right now, clocking them into the fucking ground, breaking their teeth in an instant, using armament hacking for a little bit, but not much. But yeah, this is where, all these people were knocked the fuck out. True gangsters walk away, but yeah, mostly some gangsters that were in that scope literally just walk the fuck away. But yeah, they said, "No, we ain't fighting that. Hell no, I heard so many rumors. Rumors of like the Western gangster leader literally getting his ass beat in an instant, such a brutal way from Virgo." And this is where, there's like multiple rumors around Dofi, which they know Issei is Dofi, they just don't know his real name. But yeah, this is where, Issei is right now walking. Of course, they get to the president room, mostly the president council room. And of course, where, Issei doesn't knock. He doesn't care. He literally fucking kicks the door open, wide open. And this is where, they kind of see the other door. And of course, is where, the assistant there is just scared seeing, three fucking menacing people. Even the girl's kind of menacing, but yeah. Mostly the three in total is the girl counting, but yeah. But of course, where, the assistant tries to speak up and saying that there's the occult research club, and before that even happens, Issei didn't give a damn. Issei kicks the door so damn hard that maybe the hinges might have accidentally broke off. Mostly the top hinges, mostly the door hinges. So yeah, this is where, the door almost fell down. This is where, when people kind of saw the door wide and open, like really far, almost like breaking the door, two people right now reacted so fast. This is where, one of those people is, some blonde hair guy with bluish eyes having a sword, and of course a girl with kind of bluish, bluish hair and green eye, not green eyes, mostly bluish hair, green highlight, and of course where, not bluish eyes, mostly bluish hair with a green highlight, mostly covering her bang, mostly in front of her face, but of course with kind of yellowish eyes, having a sword also. And this is where, they were about to strike at, whoever it was, but of course, both their swords were literally caught in an instant by one hand. Literally one hand that right now just caught their shit in an instant. Right now, kind of looking at both of them. This is where, they just noticed this person has shades and being way taller than them. This is where, Issei said, "May you people fuck off." This is where, before they could even react fast enough, a kick was swing towards the girl's stomach, right now colliding him with the boy. This is where, they both get knocked down in an instant. This is where, a reddish haired girl stands up getting annoyed because two of her project members were literally attacked. This is where, she decides to use her energy to right now thinking of blasting him, but this is where Sona gets up, mostly the president, council president. She stops Rias from doing anything stupid, because using magic would be crazy, because, the two swordsmen were only using swords, not magic. But making Rias use her magic might be terrifying, but yeah. This is where, when Sona sees the person right now standing there, kind of being much more clearer, this is where Sona says, "What do you need?" This is where, she kind of growls a little bit. This is where Issei said, "To delete my data of my old previous time that I was here in the school." This is where Sona seems surprised, because she never had anyone with that greenish brightish hair that kind of has bluish highlights, and of course glasses. Does it work? Sona looks at Tsubaki, and this is where she says, Sabaki, pull up the computer. This is where she does. She logs in, and of course, this is where Sona says, please state your name then. This is where Issei says, gladly. The name's Issei Hyodo. This is where, well, Sona wind her eyes, and everyone wind their eyes. This is where, well, Kiba and, what's it called, the girl, mostly the girl wouldn't know who exactly Issei would because they're knocked out, but mostly the Kiba, he had one of his eyes widened. This is where, well, Issei said, yes, I am here to literally delete any of the data, well, yeah, data that I have, well, you have on me. Mostly my old footage and other stuff. I don't really care what you do. You can delete it off the face of the whole goddamn internet. It really doesn't matter. Does it work? Well, Sona says, why haven't you been here for 4 months, Hyodo? Well, you see here, I've been really, I've been kind of busy with my family. This is where, well, he then kind of wraps his arm around Junko, and this is where Junko blushes really, like, red, like, brightish red, near, what's it called, the color of, what's it called, great reds kind of color skin. This is where, well, her face was all red, and this is where, well, she kind of stuffed her face into the stuffy bear, but yeah, this is where, well, Issei grins. This is where, well, Ria's wind her eyes. Family? This is where, well, Azia wind her eyes also. This is where, well, Kaneko kind of wind her eyes also. This is where, well, Issei said, now, if you don't mind me, delete the fucking data, yeah, the data that you have on me. I don't want any, what's it called, mafia members knowing my name. I don't really give a shit. Other mafia families, gangster families, don't want them to have my actual real name. Until I'm prepared to actually show them my real name. But for right now, I don't really care that much. This is where, well, Sona wind her eyes. Mafia families? This is where, well, Sona says, well, why would mafia families be wanting your name? This is where, well, Issei kind of smacks his forehead, and this is where he's like face planting. This is where, well, Junko kind of giggles. This is where Junko then speaks up. Because, even, what's it called? Well, we are kind of, well, business of mafia people. We're not business of mafia people. Our family consider of that of a mafia. A gangster mafia pirate kind of, mostly crew. So, of course, we deal with stuff illegally and legally not. But yeah, who really cares? Even, well, you devils don't really have the power to literally contact the humans to kind of get us arrested. So, pretty much, This is where she stuck out her tongue. This is where Rias gets angry. But this is where, well, Sona wind her eyes. This is where she looks at Issei with narrow eyes. So you're saying you became a mafia leader. Issei said, yep. But luckily all these cameras are right here. Alright, now cut in an instant. This is where Issei snapped his fingers. And this is where, well, all the, what's it called, cameras were, they were all cut in an instant. This is where, well, Issei said, meh, that was too pathetic. But that doesn't matter. Delete my information or I will tell someone else to delete it. This is where Sona looks at Tsubaki. Tsubaki, she kind of narrows her eyes. She doesn't think it's a good idea to delete his information. Issei notices, and this is where, well, he then snaps his fingers. And this is where, well, when Tsubaki looks at the computer back again, this is where arrows started appearing around, well, Issei's kind of profile. And of course, this is where glitches started appearing. Tsubaki winds her eyes. This is where Issei grins. And notice Tsubaki's terrified look. This is where, well, Issei says, now delete that shit, Crypto. This is where he says the name of someone who is right now deleting all information, all data from the school kind of computer. This is where, well, Tsubaki wind her eyes when everything just turned black and kind of went into another page of another student. This is where, well, she tries to go back and mostly see through all the names and see the list of enrolls and other stuff, and sees Issei's name literally gone, deleted from the whole, well, system. This is where she wind her eyes. This is where she gets up and says, are you crazy? How else would you be going to a good college or something? This is where, well, Issei said, what? Oh, you still think that me, a very gangsterish leader, mafia boss type bastard, you think I'll be going to college? Huh. What an interesting, nice joke you say there, Tsubaki. But no, I'm not going into any college. You see here, truly I don't care about going to any college. What I care about is, well, my own life. It doesn't involve school, it doesn't involve you people, it definitely doesn't involve devils. Yep, I mean you people. Because, well, you people are just full of devils. Also, before you say anything, Rias, before you say that I am a part of a barrage, I have the, what's it called, crest of the Gremory, before you say that I am a devil, before you say any of that stupid shit, I should explain. And what happened? After my disappearance, I found a way to destroy the Gremory crest. So you can say I'm a stray. But that also means I have to be devil to be a stray. The problem is I am now, well, you can say I'm actually not a devil. I'm actually 50% devil. I have straight to kind of remove the devil genes and magical power from my body, meaning that I had to remove the, well, mostly the what's it called, 8 pawns from my body. It was pretty easier than you can think about. It would have killed me if I would have not ate a special fruit to literally kick out the 8 pawns from my body. It was quite interesting. I could have died, but luckily, being 50% dragon instead of devil, managed to, what's it called, get rid of those, well, 8 pawn pieces. So, here we go. This is where Issei snaps his fingers, and this is where Virgo appears with the chest. Right now, putting it onto, what's it called, Issei's hand. And mostly it's a brown box, and this is where it's open now. And this is where Issei just tosses the, like, open box towards Rias, and this is where 8 pawn pieces, like, falls out. Mostly there's, like, 2 more inside it, but yeah, there's, like, mostly, like, 6 pawn pieces fell out, but there's 2 more inside, but yeah, there's, like, 8 in total. This is where Issei says, I am no longer a part of your barrage, Rias Gremory. Or should I say, yeah, Gremory. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm no longer a devil, I'm no longer a part of your barrage, I'm no longer a part of the Gremory family at all. Meaning that I am just a normal fucking human dragon. Meaning that you can attack me. It's not like I'm not gonna retaliate and try to kill you all. Which I can kill you all. But that doesn't matter. You see here, I don't care. And before you say something, Rias, before you say something really fucking stupid, I'm in your territory and working in your territory. No, I'm not working in your territory. I'm actually working somewhere else. Somewhere else that's mostly considered to be a lot of crime, but yeah, that's mostly called Tokyo. Yes, I'm in Tokyo most of the time. And I don't actually go here unless I'm visiting my parents. And before you go on saying visiting your parents might be restricted, I'm visiting them as a normal fucking human. But before you keep going on with more bullshit, you live there, right? Well, too fucking bad. I bought the damn, well, I didn't buy the damn house. I blew up the house. So the house that was, well, mostly there, and, well, since my 2 parents are actually moved to Tokyo, yes, good luck with that. But I asked my parents to move to Tokyo about a day ago, and made sure to keep it secret away from you or Asia, making it be able that my parents will be able to pack up, meet up some of my members, some of my actual family members from my mafia family, and kind of take them out. Now, before you go on, what happened to the house? He snapped his fingers, and this is where an explosion happens. This is where he says, oh, if you had stuff in there, well, that's too fucking bad. I don't really care. Issei said with such a malicious kind of grin. Oh, whatever. Now, I don't need a visit here in Kuo Town. I don't even need to touch it. I'm just here to delete anything that's related towards me. But other than that, I should be going. I'm not here to bother such a demonic bitch like you. Also, before I go on, you should know, this is where Issei swings his hand, and this is where a thread right now cuts Iria's cheek in an instant. You should know that I already knew about the whole death. The falsely death that you put me in. The whole fact that you warned what's it called? Well, a fallen angel about having a sacred gear, her killing me, being Reina, I forgot her name or something like that. That's where Issei said very casually, but whatever, Reina or whatever, her to kill me, then you reviving me, trying to get my full loyalty. If you would have just told me that I would have become immortal, I would have fucking taken it. It doesn't need that whole loyalty bullshit. But whatever. I guess I guess you're too just stupid to know that. But whatever, I'm a normal human, but I get to live longer. I'm also a dragon, so suck on that. I'm out of here. This is where, well, Issei, he then takes his thread back towards his like finger, and of course no one actually noticed it, but of course seeing Rias kind of bleed. This is where Ozia was about to try to heal it, which when she heals it to just become a scar. It like something like her healing magic can't really heal the scar. It seems like something is nullifying an instinct. This is where, well, it can only just spin a scar, and that's all. This is where, well, Rias kind of looks at Issei. Issei was walking out, and of course Junko was like right behind him. This is where Virgo appears also behind them, but of course grabbing the door. That's kind of broken. Smashing into the fucking like door entrance, like he just smashed it in there, and of course basically closed it, but just fell back down. And this is where, well, Issei said where to go also. Oh yeah, the kendo class. My sweetheart. This is where he kind of looks at Junko. Junko grins the malicious grin and says, oh, I know what you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me to literally kick the fucking brakes off those damn sluts for hurting you. Yes, that's what I want. This is where, well, Issei kind of went closer and literally kind of took her lips. This is where, well, Virgo looks somewhere else, but yeah. This is where, well, a bunch of students are just winding their eyes saying, her first kiss was literally that man. This is where, well, people glare at Issei, but this is where people got scared at the Virgos kind of glare at them. It's a murderous intent glare, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into the kendo class. Junko appears right now, just appearing in front of the kendo class and saying, oh my, oh my, oh my. You're the sluts that decide to hurt my boyfriend. I should really kill you all, shouldn't I? This is where she has such a malicious grin. This is where, well, the girls kind of get hurt, and of course, they never did hurt this girl's boyfriend. But of course, Issei appears saying, so, Junko, have fun and have a wild time. This is where, well, Junko says, okay, Issei-kun. This is where, well, she said very lovely, but yeah. This is where, well, she gave what's it called Monokuma, mostly the stuffed bear, towards what's it called Issei. This is where, well, Issei says, bye-bye, kendo class girls. Good luck in not dying against my sweetheart. This is where Issei walks away. This is where, well, we go into about 5 minutes later. Well, not 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, and Junko appears outside of, well, mostly the school. Mostly Issei and, what's it called, Virgo were waiting, but yeah. This is where Junko was all bloody around. Her eye, one of her eyes were crimson red color, but of course, where, well, her hair, mostly her right side hair, was kind of like a reddish, kind of blackish color. This is where, well, she says, that felt so much better. I hurt those damn sluts so bad that they're probably close to death. This is where she said, kind of maliciously. This is where, well, Issei grins and says, good. Those damn bitches should have deserved that. I didn't do anything wrong, but then they just decide to become judgment or something. Well, they got judgment also. Well, we should be going. This is where, well, Junko nodded. This is where Junko says, are you going to carry me bridal style while flying up in the air? This is where Issei grins and says, of course. This is where Issei spreads 2 crimson wings from his back. And this is where Virgo just walks on ahead. But yeah, what a care in the world. This is where Issei flies off. This is where, well, Junko is like grinning and laughing. This is where, well, Issei's awesome. But yeah. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for, what's it called, part 1 of what if Issei was tossed away after the battle. But yeah, other than that, have a just nice day and other stuff, but I gotta go.